So the ends justify the means, maybe, in the minds of some.
Well, that's what it sounds like, Megan, and it's very disturbing to me as a reporter that this attitude would be taken. I mean, this story is basically a complete and utter disaster. And people were harmed by it. The university was damaged by it. The fraternity was damaged by it. Members of the fraternity, because people obviously know who they are, were damaged by it. And for anybody to defend this in any way, it seems to me, is just amazing. Defending this makes no sense. It is indefensible. And to say that it serves some larger cause is nonsense. Are people really going to be more willing and sympathetic to believe the next claimed rape victim who comes along? I think not. And the problem I have with this, Megan, is that all of us who are journalists eventually have feelings about the things we cover. But and we walk a fine line between reporting the news because we want to get it right and because we think it's interesting, and reporting the news because we think we're going to accomplish some sort of social change. And when the second motivation bleeds over into our work, that's when we're in trouble. And that's what it seems to me was very much at work here and very much at work in the reactions that you've just described.
Right. What we see here is still reporters bending over backwards to talk about, women's rights and female victims on campus with nary a word about the young men whose lives are being ruined in some instances unfairly, and were nearly ruined here by false accusations. So what's really happening here?
Well, what's really happening here is that I think an almost entirely false narrative, a word I didn't used to like, but I think it needs to be used here, has been constructed and perpetrated and now perpetuated, I think largely by the American left. But a great many journalists have bought into this. College administrators across the country, under pressure to some extent from the administration, from the government, are accepting this as fact. And you see it echoed even throughout this by the comments of the president of the University of Virginia, Teresa Sullivan. When the Charlottesville Police Department came out and said it could find no evidence that this crime actually happened, the thing that she wanted to point to was in their report that said that indeed the university had been sympathetic to this woman who claimed to have been raped, and that they had treated her properly. She should not have been treated properly. She's a liar. At the University of Virginia, there's an honor system, and it used to work. And if you told a whopper like this, and damaging to the university, and obviously not true, you'd be out of there. You'd be gone. Why it is that student, so far as we know, still remains at the University of Virginia is beyond my imagination. But it does suggest that the vaunted honor system down there is not what it used to be.
Yeah, obviously it is not okay for young men to sexually assault young women, but it is also not okay to falsely accuse innocent young men of a horrific crime.